Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the We On Your Head podcast. Discussing topics that make you say, how and where can we improve as a society? From a Black American's perspective. Copyright disclaimer regarding fair use is in full effect. The views and opinions expressed in this show, you guessed it, they're all mine. Catch us live, be ready to speak. This is a call-in show. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, replay gang, leave a comment. You know I want to hear from you. Let's go to work. All right, welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show. The We On Your Head podcast, Sunday morning, good morning. Okay, so breaking news. Looks like Target is trying to slide back in. They're trying to slide into the DMs of Black American shoppers. Target wants Black American shoppers to pull back up to the bumper and start shopping there again. And so the question on the table is, are you going back to Target to shop? That's what I want to know. I mean, I'm not. And the biggest thing for me, the biggest problem is the approach. Target hasn't come out and said, hey, y'all, you know what? We're sorry. We were wrong. We were afraid of Trump, so we did this. And, they said what they said. Okay. They were going to shut down DEI, and that's what they meant. But the boycott hit them so hard that they're trying to figure out, what should we do? What should I do? What needs to happen next? So with that being said, let me start off with this. Target is cutting almost 18,000 corporate jobs at this point. Okay, that's how bad their scenario has been. It says here, according to the BBC, Target to slash 18,000, or as you were 1,800 office jobs in a bid for a turnaround. And if you recall, a couple months ago, or maybe 3-4 months ago, they announced a new, I think it was a CEO, and they made it appear as though the guy that was being replaced was actually leaving the organization. But what they didn't say was that the guy that the new CEO was replacing was just simply going into a different department in Target. So they brought this other guy in. And so now what we're seeing in the news now are clearly his efforts to try to redirect this thing. Problem is, Target, you need to open up. You need to pull up and be like, hey, look, y'all, we were wrong. I mean, that's the only way to get this conversation started. Okay? Don't try to slide in and have us like just pull up and start shopping with you again. We're not going to do that. So anyway, according to the BBC, Target will cut 1,800 corporate jobs. The U.S. retail giant told employees on Thursday the company is struggling and is looking to reverse the 4 years of stagnant sales. Says the layoffs to be rolled out next week mark the retailer's first major downsizing in a decade and will slash roughly 8% of its global corporate workforce. So you haven't laid off anyone in almost a decade. Government shutdown, folks, if it's not opened up by November, people aren't going to get their SNAP. They're not going to get, the benefits they typically receive. And this is going to be another 1,800 people looking for work, which is not, a favorable environment right now, according to reports. So, and then Target, you don't want to step up and say, hey, look, we were wrong. We need you back. Blase scoop. We're sorry, Black Americans. We did it wrong. We should have never, gone against DEI. It was working so well for us, because it was working well for Target. And it was working well for the Black entrepreneurs that were in relationship with Target. So now that these cuts are about to happen, you know what, Target, you're gonna have to do a whole lot of cleaning up. So let me keep reading. Um, Too many layers and overlapping work have slowed decisions, making it harder to bring ideas to life, according to the incoming chief, Michael Fedecki. And I think that's the new guy that came in. And again, they tried to make it sound like they were, um, like he was um, replacing the guy, the former CEO, but in fact, he just simply moved to a different situation. Hey, April Showers Network, thanks for pulling up. How you doing this morning? If anybody wants to come up, feel free to request a mic. Be happy to have you come up on stage. What's going on, Shrinking Sharon? Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate you. Um, okay, so anyway, this Fedecki, I believe is his name. He said it's too many layers, too many overlapping um, work, and it's slowing decisions. And these people are not being accountable. They're literally not. Um, they are literally not taking accountability. And I think Black Americans uh, need to. We need to demand that you address the situation that got you here in the first place, Target. This is what got you here in the first place. Several quarters of weak sales and a slumping stock price have set Target behind Walmart and other rivals. Shoppers have curtailed non essential spending, while backlash over diversity policies has added to Target's woes. Mr. Fedecki, a 20-year veteran of the company, called the layoffs a necessary step in building the future of Target. He was named chief executive in August and is set to take over from Brian Cornell, the company's current leader, in February. About 1,000 corporate employees are poised to be laid off, and 800 vacant roles will no longer be filled, said a Target spokesperson. More details are set to be announced on Tuesday. Fedecki asked U.S. corporate employees to work from home next week. So, and now, isn't that interesting? They can work from home when you get, because what, you don't want to pay security to be on the premises, the multiple premises, when you tell these corporate folks y'all are laid off. But so now working remotely is workable. I need you to make all that make sense. Shout out to One Pap. She's got this phrase she's been saying, and I got to say it. Target's coming with the buffale. Okay, shout out to One Pap for that phrase. But Target's on some buffale. I need you to quit, Target. Stop it. The layoffs will not affect retail employees who work at Target's nearly 2,000 stores across the U.S. Target has historically been known for its affordable clothes and wide, yeah, okay, Target. But non essentials like clothing, electronics account for roughly half of the company's sales, making it vulnerable in recent years as customers have curbed spending on extras in the face of rising prices and uncertainty about the tariffs. Let's see here. Is there anything else in this? It says in May, Target warned that sales would be lower than previously expected this year amid concern about how consumer pullback on discretionary items might affect its business. It held its forecast steady in August, but narrowly beat quarterly earnings expectations. So, you know what? The boycott put a nice dent in Target's overall performance. And then, of course, the economy didn't help it. And, you don't want to, me personally, you don't like to, I don't want to clap for someone when they're down. But, come on, Target. So, Target is actually partnering with this company called the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs. Um, they go by the acronym of RICE. Now, this is what's interesting, and actually, let me see something here. Let me actually go to the article that mentions that, so that when I bring this up on the stage, we know what we're talking about here. So yeah, so Target spotlights the relationship with this organization Target spotlight support for Black founders after DEI backlash. So, in the news and in the reports, of course, they're making it. They're certainly making it about the DEI backlash. But what no representatives are coming out and verbally articulating, "Hey, you guys, we messed up. We're wrong." And how do you say that? Because there's only really one way to say that, which means you have to be honest and forthright. And let's be honest, you're gonna have to admit that you sided you know, with racism. You're gonna have to admit that in order to come from around this. There's no two-stepping, no shuffling of the feet to get back. You've got to come up and say, look, we really didn't believe in DEI like we said we did. We were willing at the first hint of, you know, we were afraid or whatever motivated them to do it. Their mask came off. And so, they have got to now articulate and say, look, we didn't value DEI like we said we did. And so the first opportunity we got to uh, cut it out, that's exactly what we did. I mean, they actually to didn't even wait to for Donald Trump to even get on their ass about nothing. You know what I mean? They just say, "Oh, Donald Trump, you coming in? Oh, Project 2025 pulling up? Oh, y'all gonna get rid of DEI? Well, shit, hold my beer." And they they made the announcement. They made the announcement before Trump even was inaugurated. You know what I'm talking about? So under those circumstances, you don't get to just slide in and start going, shout out to the emotions. Don't ask my neighbor. You don't get to go over here and say, "Hey, Rice, uh, can y'all talk to the blacks for us and tell them we want them back?" No, you're gonna have to stand on your own 10 toes, Target. That's what I'm gonna need you to do. You're gonna have to own it. So anyway, let me read this article here. Target spotlight support for black founders after DEI backlash. Well, you've been had you anyway. Let me keep reading. Target recently highlighted its ongoing partnership with a group dedicated to black founders following a turbulent year marked by backlash, boycotts, and leadership changes. The retailer's renewed spotlight on black businesses could signal a recalibration and perhaps an effort to mend relations with communities that once helped define its brand and its ethos. Uh, in, Oc- in an October 20 statement, Target pointed to its tie up with Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs, aka RICE, which supports Black small business founders with education, mentorship, and access to retail opportunities. I'm going to stop right here. Target, you already had that going on. You already had your own in house, hey, a situation going on where you had black hair care products on the shelves. You had these relationships with these um black entrepreneurs, and you were working it out to but now you got to go all the way outside your because that pipeline doesn't exist anymore. So now you got to go to somebody else and see if they'll help you to regain and draw the people back in. But you're doing that without owning. Because if I were a black entrepreneur that was trying to, if Rice, let's say Rice reached out to me and said, let me put them on the screen too. Let's just say Rice reached out to me and said, "Hey Mel, Target trying to get with you. You black, you're an entrepreneur. They got a little something for you. What you want to get with it?" I'll be like, well, Target is going to have Target got some explaining to do. You got some explaining to do, Target. You have to explain to me why you shut down the relationship that was already in the mix. Um, it was already in the mix, and this is right, Shaw. It was already in the mix in terms of um, Target bringing in entrepreneurs and helping them to, get their game tight. You already had that going on. But you chose to end that when as soon as Donald Trump was coming around. So let's go to About Us. with Rice and see exactly who they are. So, well, here Russell. Um, our mission is to equip overlooked and underestimated entrepreneurs with access, resources, and community they need to grow stronger businesses, create generational wealth, and fuel a more inclusive economy. Wasn't weren't they doing this already? Target was already doing this. So why do you got to go to Rice now? Because you need a black voice now to speak on your behalf. Rice is boldly pursuing pathways to expand the possibilities for Black entrepreneurs in Atlanta and beyond at a time when ensuring equitable opportunities for Black owned businesses matter more than ever. Black entrepreneurs require more than symbols of hope at this critical time. They need institutions to manufacture it. Rice will do our part to help create and accelerate opportunities for Black business owners, bring them into a family of dynamic people like them, and surround them with everything they need to prosper. I mean, Target, you already were doing this. Why do you need Rice? I need you to explain that, Target. Here's the executive leadership of the people of Rice, um, senior leadership. You had the relationship already, Target. What you don't want to do, Target, is you don't want to take ownership. That's the problem. Business generation, business generator, supportive community, innovation lab, and this is no knock against Rice. Shout out to Rice. Um, Entrepreneurship helped my dreams come true. I want the same for other young people looking to make good lives for themselves. I'm a lifetime believer that for America to continue being great and provide enough jobs for its people, the only path is fostering a national and entrepreneurial spirit. Um, and that's apparently Russell J. or Ezra Herman J. Russell Sr. And again, this is called the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs. So, you know, I'm sorry, Target, but you're just gonna have to do better in terms of reaching out. You want Black people to come back and shop at Target, um, you're gonna have to take accountability verbally and otherwise. You're gonna have to do that. Let's see. Let me go back over here to Rice again. Let's check this out real quick. Um, let's see here. Okay, so I guess this is theirs to find out, follow the big ideas journey. Click on a letter to learn more. Curiosity to concept, concept to company, company to customers, customers to capacity and capital, exponential growth. So inspire, develop, execute, accelerate, scale. I mean, and Rice is probably an awesome, it's probably an awesome organization, I bet. But and so should we even be looking at Rice with the side eye because they are allowing themselves to be, you know, because it's given manipulation. My From my view, it's like they're allowing themselves. Okay, yeah, Target. So is there some financial arrangement that we have here where you speak up for us and we'll cut you a check, Target? And I say that, and that's really a legitimate question because Target has already done that. Target did that with the National Baptist Convention. Let me pull that article up real quick. So let me do this. Let's see. Okay, so here on the screen you see we got um, PNBC, which is the Progressive National Baptist Convention Inc. They were given, and this was in the news a couple, 3, 4 months ago. They were given $300,000 from Target. And they said, yeah, blah, we're giving you this $300,000. And PNBC, they took that money. Well, the National Baptist Convention, they said, hell no, we won't go. We ain't doing that. Okay? We're not doing that. We're not going to um we're not going to accept money from you, Target. Matter of fact, we stand with the boycott. So let me give you some news on that. All right. Um Give me just a minute here. So the Progressive National Baptist Convention joins Target boycott during Chicago conference. Now the Progressive National Baptist Convention um, is the one that got the money. Okay. Weeks after Target Corporation infuriated blacks across the country with its $300,000 donation to prominent Baptist organization, the Progressive National Baptist Convention, in its annual conference in Chicago, blasted the retailer and officially joined the boycott. Uh, PNBC did so in response to Target agreeing with Donald Trump to eliminate its DEI programs and initiatives. At a press conference in July, the PNBC president, Reverend David Peoples, along with several prominent black pastors, including Reverend Otis Moss III, made the announcement as calls grow louder for the National Baptist Convention to return its donation to Target. So, you know what? I got to change this image on here. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Because according to this article, PNBC said, we're not going to take the money, but um, the National Baptist Convention said, we will. So let me switch that around real quick. In Jesus' name. Everything's alleged up in this piece, okay? I'm just giving you what I'm reading on here. So, there we go. Let me switch that and fix that. Because you know what? Why not? Hold on just a minute, y'all. But anyway, moving forward, the PNBC said, the Progressive National Baptist Convention said, hey, we're not going to sell you out. We're not going to sell you out. We're going to stand with y'all. And we're going to join this boycott. We're going to join this boycott. Hold on just a second, y'all. Let me fix this. And I'm going to fix my, here we go. Hold on just a minute. Yeah. So there goes the overlay. Yeah, there we go. Now we got that straight. Now we got to fix that because it's about accuracy. So the PNBC, the Progressive National Baptist Convention, said, we're not going to take this money. We don't support this money. We don't support what the National Baptist Convention did in terms of taking the money. We're not going to sell you out. We are going to, just checking this trap, y'all, making sure. There we go. Let me get rid of this one here. There we go. All right. So now we're correct. PNB said, nope, we're not messing with you like that. We are standing with Jamal Bryant, who is seen as the leader of this boycott action against Target. We're not going to take this money. The National Baptist Convention took the $300,000 that was offered to them. PNBC said the Target boycott has re-energized activism in the Black church. Once considered a powerful, influential institution, Black church affiliation steered Black America through difficult times in fueling the civil rights movement. But in the last 2 decades, the Black church's relevance and impact have faded away as many churches closed or became less politically engaged and watered down. So according to PNBC's website, the organization has 2.5 million members who attend churches across the country. Peoples told the Chicago Crusader that as part of PNBC's boycott, his organization will find and financially support Black-owned businesses. He said the organization will also promote those businesses by showcasing their products and services to church members. During the boycott, Black leaders will partner with U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce to provide a digital directory of more than 150,000 Black-owned businesses across the country. The announcement was one of many highlights of the 4-day conference, which was stacked with seminars, panel discussions on social justice, and the impact of Trump's Big Beautiful Bill on America's Black communities. So, shout out to the PNBC, the Progressive National Baptist Convention, in literally taking a stand to support its congregants and Black America. Says what we're seeing today is a full assault on Black workers, people said, referring to tens of thousands of government workers who've been fired by Trump's administration since January. And I did have this picture up here. This is Reverend Dr. David Peoples, president of the Progressive National Baptist Convention, is here speaking during a press conference where he announced the organization will join a national boycott of Target. And I ain't mad at him. This is what we need. So Target again, and even with that, Target is not saying, "Hey, you guys, wait, hold on, let me fix something. Let me fix something here." So yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing here. And so the real question is, are you going to shop at Target? Are you going to go back to Target now that they're trying to just pony up with other organizations? It says, I'm looking at this article here. It says the partnership was met with significant criticism, and this is when Target partnered with the National Baptist Convention, providing them a 3-year, $300,000 donation to support community programs. So is that $300,000 each year for 3 years, or is that over the course of 3 years, Target is going to give them $300,000? Either way, $300,000 for all of Black America is not enough to do a damn thing. Let's be honest. Let's be completely honest. And if you gave that much money to the National Baptist Convention, how much did you give Rice? The innovation, what is it? The innovation for, let me get it right, because facts matter, right? Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs. How much did you give Rice to get in this little partnership agreement with them? So this partnership was announced in June. With the National Baptist Convention, and it's intended to fund scholarships, senior programs, and entrepreneurship and workforce development initiatives. Y'all, come on, $300,000 over a course of 3 years. Y'all know that's not anything. Let's be honest. If you think that's something, put something in the chat and let me know. I don't think so. The backlash and controversy, the partnership was met with significant criticism from prominent Black faith leaders and community activists who viewed the deal as a betrayal of ongoing boycott efforts against Target. The controversy stems from the following events: the rollback of DEI initiatives. Target began scaling back some of its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives following pressure and threats from right-wing groups, particularly regarding its Pride Month merchandise. This led to boycotts from some Black activists who felt the company was abandoning its commitments to the Black community. And let's be honest, Target did not make that DEI statement. They made that statement before Trump took office. So now don't try to couple it all in and this, and say, well, it was pressure. Don't do that. Target came out like, whoo, now we don't have to act like we cool with the Blacks anymore. That's my own opinion. Okay. That's my view. Black activists, including Pastor Jamal Harrison Bryant and Minnesota activist Nakima Levy Armstrong, had called for boycotts of Target over its decision to pull back on DEI initiatives. Criticism from Black leaders, critics including Pastor Jamal Bryant, accused the National Baptist Convention of leadership of cashing a check, or as you were chasing a check, rather than supporting the boycott movement. Some describe the $300,000 donation as a paltry sum from a multi-billion-dollar corporation. I mean, it looks like that to me. 300, you're talking about 100,000. Look, there might be there are families that earn $100,000 and a year. It's an annual salary, whether it's, a combined income or one income earner, whatever. $100,000. Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. So even with that, but they took that money. Um, that's a paltry sum from a multi-billion-dollar organization. Um, the Progressive National Baptist Convention officially joined the boycott, condemning Target and calling for the National Baptist Convention to return the donation. Target statement, a Target spokesman stated that the company was proud to sponsor uh, the National Baptist Convention Conference Series as one of many ways it invests in education, economic development, and entrepreneurship. Stop it. The um, National Black, let me get it over here so I'm saying it right. The National Baptist Convention, thank you, Jesus. The National Baptist Convention President Dr. Boise Kimber defended the deal, saying the funds would help Black communities and that Target has responded positively to their outreach. Y'all, come on. See, that's not even, and then you talk about why can't there be any unity with Black folks? They responded positively to us. Stop it. I'd like to see what y'all do with that money. Talking about they responded positively. Oh my goodness. Um, hmm. So just a little bit of historical information. Historically, the largest Black denomination in the United States is uh, the National Baptist Convention. Is the largest Black Baptist denomination in the United States. It split in 1961 when some members, including Dr. Martin Luther King, disagreed with the convention's leadership stance against direct action tactics in the civil rights movement. The Progressive National Baptist Convention, founded by members who left the NBC, the PNBC, became a strong supporter of civil rights movement and provided a denominational home for Dr. Martin Luther King and other leaders. It is known for its emphasis on social justice, civil rights, and progressive thought. So there's a lot to it, y'all. The question on the table is, are you going to shop at Target? Are you going to shop at Target now that they're trying to ease back? I don't believe we should. I don't think we should. I think we need to let Target stay right where it's doing, right where it's going. And if you want Black Americans to come back shopping with you, Target, you're gonna have to do better. You're gonna have to approach it better. And one, you're gonna have to take accountability and say, hey, look, y'all, you need to admit it. You really just need to say, look, we were happy to finally be able to cut y'all loose, and we didn't, we were tired of playing like we was really about y'all life, and we really wanted you guys to succeed as Black Americans. That's what we were so happy that we no longer had to keep up that face. So when we knew Trump won the election and said Project 2025 was coming into full effect, shoot, like I said, hold my beer. But now it hit you because the economy's jacked up, and it was the boycott that Target felt first. It was our boycotting efforts that made Target say, oh shit, what's tea? And then on top of that, the economy being jacked up. Target said, oh damn. So now you're trying to coordinate and move in with other organizations to see if they can get it back, get that old thing back. Well, you're not getting this old thing back. Not without a full-fledged taking of accountability. That's what we need you to do. So guess what? That's it. That is the podcast. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, Replay Gang, leave a comment because I want to hear from you. And until next time, y'all, we will see ya when we see you.
Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the We Own Your Head podcast. Discussing topics that make you say, how and where can we improve as a society? From a Black American's perspective. Copyright disclaimer regarding fair use is in full effect. The views and opinions expressed in this show, you guessed it, they're all mine. Catch us live, be ready to speak. This is a call-in show. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, Replay Gang, leave a comment. You know I want to hear from you. Let's go to work.